Hello everybody. Welcome to clinic number 3 at Michal's Cafe. Thank you so much for joining today. Today we are going to talk about a very important skill, editing videos. Editing videos is probably one of my best strengths. I love editing videos. I've had several internships where I was responsible of the content creation and I made several of very good videos. It is one of my favorite skills and really one of my passions and truly something that I'm hoping to do later on in my profession, in my job. So nice to meet you all. My name is Michal. I am an MBA student and I'm an international student from Israel. Videos become more and more important in the digital age and for many reasons. I always say if a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a video is worth 1,000 pictures. And it's really an opportunity for you to tell a story in the most exemplifier way. So let me tell you a quick story about this experience that I had. It was my first semester as an MBA student and we were taking this class called Technological Innovation. And this guy comes up, he was very well dressed, he wore a tux and a suit, and he talked to us in a very painful 15-minute presentation about his project. His project was a software that is secured and designed to protect computers. And it is specifically designed for highly secured offices such as the military or the government. But during his presentation, all I could think about was, wow, he's not doing a very good job of really telling his story. And if I was an investor, if I was somebody that either buy his service or invest in his startup company, I would not be too impressed. I was impressed by the project itself, but not too much from the way that he presented it. But if he would show us a video of what it's like working at the basement of Stony Brook University and what it's like to work hours on end to perfect this one software device. And forgive me for not using the technical terms. I'm not a technical person, but it would have been so much more interesting if I would have gotten a snippet of what his work is really about. That would have been amazing. And it is a little bit painful to think that this presentation would be in front of a potential investor or a client. He would not be getting very much support because he wasn't doing a very good job at presenting this idea. The other thing I was thinking was that I'm going to have a job for a very long time, as long as there's people like that are brilliant on the one side and are not necessarily great at marketing on the other side. So maybe you can explain to me what was exactly going through his mind, or maybe I'm just focusing on the things that are not important. But really at its core, video marketing is an engaging, modern marketing strategy that introduces video content as a format of telling stories, of delivering businesses messages, educating your audience, and so much more. So really, no matter what the format of your video is, or what the length of it is, how long it is, or what is the style of your video, it's considered video marketing if your end goal is to get your brand, product, or service in front of a desired audience through the use of a video. So I hope I inspired you that video is something that you should dive into. Video marketing offers a lot of flexibility. So you can, and I hope that you will, use the creative space to incorporate it into what you think is the best for you, for your industry, for your project. This might mean that you start with just a focus on video for social, or just for a case study, or just a how-to video for a blog post. Before we dive in, just a couple of statistics on you. According to Fast Company, consumers prefer lower quality but authentic goods and services over those of higher quality but which seem inauthentic. So you might be seeing all of these super silk and super innovative videos that obviously were thrown through tons of budget into it, and it's not very convincing because it doesn't look real. which is why I want to convey to you that video can be very easy to do. You can do it with your phone and you can still create a solid, good video. You don't have to be a professional or experienced videographer to put it out there. 54% of people want to see more video content from marketers. So if you want to get your project or your research or your work or just yourself out there, consider using video content. 83% of consumers worldwide prefer YouTube to watch video content. 73% of consumers worldwide prefer seeing videos on social media that is entertaining. And in 2019, video was the #1 form of media used in content strategy, overtaking blogs and infographics. So you can be an incredible writer and you can put out really good reports and blogs. You can be a really good PowerPoint presenter. But videos is the thing right now. It's really an important skill that you should dive into. So the first step as you dive into videos is to brainstorm. You got to think and ask yourself, what's this video for? What is the goal? What am I trying to do? So for the sake of this clinic, I've done the brainstorming for you. We are going to create a clip, a 60-second clip with old videos that I filmed on my camera and my phone with why students like you about why STEM. Why did they decide to pursue a career in STEM? I found it really fascinating. The goal of my video is really to inspire others, to kind of put it out there, like what made these women pursue a career in STEM and why is it so interesting for them and why did it spark them to do it professionally? And at the end of this video, we can upload it to social media. We can upload it to Instagram. The second thing you want to kind of see is what you're going to use for your video. So today we're going to be using a really good app that I like. It's called Filmora. Filmora, you can download it at wondersharefilmora.com. I like it because it is really easy, simple to use, and it is not very expensive. We're going to dive right in. This is what it looks like. It might look a little bit frightening at first, but this is, like I said, a beginner's clinic. And here's what we're going to do. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ladies from Women in Science and Engineering, and I've already gotten their permission to use their interview for another video, which is why I'm allowed to use it right now. But otherwise, I would have imported it from the media files over here and just choose whatever it is that I want to upload. So let's get started. I'm clicking on the video, double click, and I can see the preview right here.
Can you please introduce yourself?
So we're double clicking here.
My name is Leila Satsky. I'm a freshman majoring in chemical engineering.
This is a really cute girl named Leila. I've already marked the part where she's talking about why she decided to go into what she did. But the way you would do it is you would drag to where you want to take, and then you click right here on the mark, and that's where you mark that you want to take that specific snap. You're going to take it into #1. You can build unlimited number of tracks. The reason why is because you want to be able to have a track over a track over a track. So for example, if you have a video and you want to also have subtitles, which you should, by the way, to be able to create the video accessible for people with different hearing losses, hearing abilities, then you should have 2 tracks for that. So let's see what we have here.
For interest.
So the first thing I'm noticing is that the voice is pretty low. So I'm gonna need to increase the voice, and that's how I did it. I double clicked, I dragged it up here on the audio. Let's see.
Big question. I think I first, like in STEM, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I first became interested in STEM and especially chemical engineering.
Okay, so here's what I want.
I think I first
By the way, to move from one track to the next in a slow rate, in a way that you have more control over it, I'm clicking on the right key on my keyboard, like that. And and then I can snap it exactly where I want. I'm going to split the track right here because this is where she starts to speak. So I'm gonna make the track a little bigger. I'm gonna click on here on the time and drag it to the right. If I'm dragging it to the left, it becomes smaller. Perfect.
I was really interested in how what we're doing to the planet, and I wanted to be a part of combating climate change.
Beautiful. Moving on to the next. This is Gabriella Funk. So as I already told you, I've already cut the part that I want, so I'm just gonna drag it over here.
I knew I wanted to do something with STEM coming into college.
So she has a pretty good vocal ability, so I don't need to raise it all the way up, but I'm gonna raise it almost all the way up.
But I didn't know exactly what. I started as an engineering science major, and I kind of tried out a few things, and ultimately mechanical engineering just felt right for me.
Perfect. That's it. That's all I need.
I didn't really feel...
And I'm deleting the rest of it. Moving on to the next one.
Can you please?
This is Amelia. Dragging it in, raising the audio.
What made you choose physics as your profession?
This is me asking the question.
So, what made me choose physics as my... So,
I want to start right after she says so. I'm cutting and deleting.
what made me choose physics as my profession was that I found that I had a passion for it. And I think that I found this passion kind of in an abstract way. I found this passion because of research and my hands-on experience within the field.
My hands-on experience within the field. Cut. That's all I need. That was pretty inspiring. Next, we have Toby.
Being in like the hospital vicinity, I got a feel for it, and it made me want to pursue going to the medical field myself.
Amazing. Cut off. That's it. The last person we have is Catherine.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Catherine is from chemistry.
When did you realize that you want to pursue science as your major?
I wanted to pursue chemistry.
Amazing. Isn't that cool? She was inspired to become a chemist after she was playing with something at school. So here is basically the core, the body of our video. It's a little bit over 1 minute. We're going to make it shorter. We're going to go over it and kind of cut off a few ums and a few unnecessary words here and there. But what I want to show you now is how we can make a really quick title. So we're going to go into titles. And over here, there's a few different ways to create a title. There's an opener, like kind of a designed funky one. And then there are basic titles, which is probably what I'm going to use. This one is the most basic one. And there's also different ones that is whatever is best for your video specifically. Obviously, you can change the font, you can change the color, you can change the shadow and the outlining of everything. Lower third is kind of like later when I'm going to put their names. And subtitles, which as I said is very important, we are going to use later. But right now, let's work on an opener. So I'm going into titles. But besides just the title, I also want to put in something like a snippet of it. So another cool way to show it is by using a split screen. I have 5 girls, so I'm going to look into a split screen that shows 5 of them. So I have this one and this one. My opinion is that this one looks really good. I'm going to drag it in to the beginning of my video. And then I just need to drag the girls into the little boxes. So that's a really cool feature. Number 1 would be Lila. I'm going to make sure that her face is right here in the box. Next up is Gabrielle. Once again, making sure she's right here in the middle. Beautiful. Next up is Amelia. Toby. Let's see how it looks all together.
What made you choose physics? So what's your passion for that profession?
I didn't know exactly what.
A little messy. The reason why is because I didn't mute it. So the way to mute a track is by clicking on the right mouse and then mute. I also want to make it a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna drag it out using this key. So if I'm putting my mouse right up here, I can drag it more or less. But I think that, let's say 5 seconds is a good place to be. Now I'm adding the title, and I'm adding the title on the second track. As I told you, that's why we have multiple tracks. I'm just gonna use the basic one. I am going to go into advanced. I need the title to really stand out on top of those girls. So the way to do it is really to create a text border. Let's create a text border that is red because of the university colors, and also a text shadow, just like that. I think that looks good. And now let's start with a really inspiring subtitle. Now, let's change the font. The font that I usually use for Wise is Bebes News. That's how you say it. I also need to make it a little bit smaller to fit everything. Why they chose their profession like that. And lastly, I'm going to choose some sort of animation. I like the type animation. So as you can see, I went into advanced, and I clicked on animation and text writer. And over here is where I'm dragging it to create a slower text writer or a faster text writer. I need it to be a little bit slower. Let's see how it looks like all together. I grabbed it, I held it, and I dragged it down because I wanted to start just a tiny bit later after the animation starts. I think cool. Now what we're missing is the music. Another good thing about Filmora is that they have a good variety of music for videos that are license free, and you can use them for your videos and post them later, even for promotional purposes. So you click, this is a little bit too mellow for me. This can work. Nah. Nah. I like that one, so I'm gonna use it. I'm taking it, grabbing it, and dragging it all the way down. Let's see how it looks together. So when she starts to speak, the music has to become quieter. The way I do that, as you can see, the sound over here on the music is somewhat loud. So right here, when she starts to speak, I'm gonna cut the music. So I'm double clicking on the music track and I'm cutting it. And then I'm double clicking on the second track of where people are speaking, and I'm gonna drag it down to make it pretty quiet so that it won't interrupt with people speaking.
I think I first became interested in STEM and especially chemical engineering. I guess in middle school, I was really interested in climate activism.
Let's add another title to introduce these ladies. So I'm adding a title, lower third. And the one that I usually use, don't tell anybody, but I use the template for Wise, is this one. So I'm gonna take it and grab it down.
I think I first became interested in STEM.
What's missing for me is, again, an outline. So I'm clicking on it, putting it in advanced, clicking on text border, putting it on red, and this too on black. Looks good. So I want to put down here her name and up here her profession. So I'm just gonna copy her name, Lila Stotsky. And then I'm gonna take it and grab it to the place I want it to be. And up here, I'm gonna put her major, chemical engineering, graduation year of 23. I think it looks fantastic. Actually, I need to put it a little bit higher because later I'm gonna put subtitles too. So I need to grab it just a little bit higher. So let me put a subtitle for her. Another cool trick is that I can just go to the first title that I created customly, copy it, and then paste it right here. And change her name. Mechanical engineering, graduating year of 21. It's applied math and statistics, graduating year of 21. So I might have to put it in 2 lines. Physics, yeah. Let's put physics, applied math, and statistics, year of 21. So here's something else that I want to do. I'm going into advanced. And then I want to make a little bit more condensed for this. I don't want so much space between the 2 lines. I'm just removing it like that. Perfect. She is graduating in 23. Next up, and last one is Catherine. Is majoring in chemistry, also graduating in 23.
I wanted to pursue.
When I double click on the music, I can choose to fade out. And it shows me right here on the bottom how much of it is going to fade out with the music. So I want it to be about 1 second.
That was brought into the classroom.
And I want to fade out from Catherine's face. So I'm going into transitions and I'm picking out fade. I'm driving it to Catherine. And then I choose to have it just 1 second. Now let's move into subtitles. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, just the general idea so that you know, because subtitles are very important. If you want to create videos that reach a variety of people and the majority of people, you want to put subtitles out there, not just because of people that have hearing disabilities, but also because it is sometimes hard to understand people. I wish I could have subtitles under me speaking all the time, but it's sometimes unclear. Sometimes you just don't hear it. Sometimes the accent comes in the way. I know that I suffer from that. So you want to put subtitles, although it takes a little bit of time, it is worth it. And it is the respectful thing to do. So I'm dragging the generic subtitle. And I'm putting it right here down. Once again, I'm going to create a text border. Click on it, text border. And here's where the tricky part comes.
I think I first became interested in STEM and especially chemical engineering.
I need to listen to what she says and write it. Let's hear that again.
I think I first became interested
in STEM.
I think I first became interested in STEM.
I'm cutting it right here. New subtitle.
And especially chemical engineering.
And especially chemical engineering. Cut. Another cool trick that you can do is to just take that, drag it all the way down. You see, I'm making the track smaller. I think it looks really, really good. So this is basically video editing one-on-one. There's also effects that I didn't talk about, which I usually do not use just because they're too much for me, but sometimes you would. For example, if I'm choosing to show it on Catherine, this is a 007 series. Just make sure
I wanted to pursue chemistry.
Which I'm not a huge fan of. Elements is right here. For example, if you want to add an emoji or some sort of a title, they're all free from Filmora.
From a young age because
I need to make it smaller. Turn it around a little bit. Put it right here.
I was fascinated through the molecular.
I think I first became interested in STEM and especially chemical engineering. I was really interested in climate activism. I was really interested in what we're doing to the planet, and I wanted to be a part of combating climate change.
I knew I wanted to do something with STEM coming into college, but I didn't know exactly what. I started as an engineering science major, and I kind of tried out a few things, and ultimately mechanical engineering just felt right for me.
What made me choose physics as my profession was that I found that I had a passion for it. And I think that I found this passion kind of in an abstract way. I found this passion because of research and my hands-on experience within the field.
So all my life I basically loved kids, and also my parents, they're both in the medical field. So being in like the hospital vicinity, I got a feel for it, and it made me want to pursue going to the medical field myself.
I wanted to pursue chemistry from a young age because I was fascinated through the molecular model kit that was brought into the classroom.
And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for showing up to the clinic and for asking questions and for giving me the seat of the teacher and educator today to teach you about a skill that I absolutely love. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to sign up for a one-on-one meeting with me. And I really, really hope that you enjoy this. Thank you so much. Goodbye.